Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Team Fortress TV. We have a fantastic match lineup for you tonight. This is ESEA Invite Season 20, the grand finals between Ascent and Team SoloUber. My name is Mr. SLIN. My co-caster tonight is Avast, and on camera we have Mathsad. And Avast, this is going to be a super hype match.
Yeah, I agree 100%. This is going to be a crazy match, one for the history books, as we were talking earlier. Just going to be, I'm hoping for some insane plays.
Yeah, when I was asked to cast for this match, I was super pumped because I think it's a big honor to cast the grand finals of any ESEA season, even if it is online. And for me, I can't believe we're watching a grand finals that Banny isn't in. I mean, my first season of ESEA was season 8, and Banny, even then, Banny was playing in the finals. So now to see a team, it's going to be Ascent versus Team SoloUber, and Team SoloUber is the number 3 team in Invite this season. So it's crazy to see them in the grand finals up against a non-Banny team. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was posted on the forums earlier, but you started playing season 8, like you were saying, and I started playing season 13. And even during that, and I've been we both, our entire careers have seen Banny teams versus mix-up S teams with our Overlord, Enigma, and Platinum.
Right.
And this is the first time in like 6.5 years of TF2 that Banny or a mix-up team will not be in the grand finals of a TF2.
Yeah, and so for a little bit of a history lesson for all you guys who are out there who are new to TF2, Mix Up and Banny's team went head to head season after season, trading blows, trading wins, and it was either always one team or the other, and you could always bet, even when it didn't look like Classic Mix Up would make it to the grand finals, it was like they always made it there, and it was one of those two teams that won. And then Classic Mix Up finally died, and it looked like Banny's team was going to be super dominant for a long time. And for the longest time, for the last year or so, we've been seeing Froyotech being super dominant in the North American scene, but also on the world stage as well, winning world championships and winning ESEA season after season. But now that team's kind of dropped off, and after that most recent loss last week against Team SoloUber, that's a big deal. Froyotech is no longer a thing.
Yeah, but I mean, we were also discussing this earlier that Froyotech had sort of been a declining dynasty at the end of this season, still being, an incredible, very good team with some of the best players in the world, proven in the past to be the best team in the world. But, with the coming of Overwatch, and some players had different commitments, so they were playing less, while teams like TSU still continued to play pretty consistently and were interested in actively improving. So it was a good win from TSU. But in the end, Froyo, I don't think was nearly as dominant as they used to be.
I think good win would be a major understatement. I think that TSU beating Froyotech was a big deal. I mean, it was close. I was sitting there watching you cast that Avast, and you guys did a great job, by the way, you and Gex. The match went super long. It was 3 hours. You guys sounded tired at the end of it, and it was just oh my goodness, this is a nail biter down at the very end, and TSU came up with the victory. A huge upset there, and then that caused Froyotech to die. So, the end of a dynasty for sure. And now it's on Ascent and Team SoloUber to see who will be carrying the torch for the rest of TF2. And I think that's a big deal because, yes, a couple of the players from Froyotech will be moving on and playing ESEA next season and joining other teams and assimilating into the rest of Invite. But Ascent and Team SoloUber are two teams that I think will be around for a long time to come.
Oh, I 100% agree. And it is definitely an understatement to say that it was a good win for TSU, because it was a crazy win for TSU. It was a very, very fun cast as well. We had some technical problems, but casting with the Gex was...
Yeah, but it wouldn't be ESEA if there wasn't, right?
I 100% agree. It would not be ESEA if there wasn't some sort of terrible, terrible calamity. And but I had a lot of fun casting with my better, deeper voice golden half that is Gex. He's
and now
a
you just have
young
me,
man. Loved
so...
it. Yeah, you know what, SLIN? You can also fill the void that Gex has left. I can share. You can both fit equally in my heart, in my opinion.
Awesome. Well, like I said, Mr. SLIN here casting and Avast here with us. We're so glad you guys are joining us here tonight for the ESEA Invite Season 20 Grand Finals. And Ascent, the number 1 seeded team, will be facing against Team SoloUber, the number 3 seeded team. And Ascent will be coming from the upper bracket, and Team SoloUber will be coming in from the lower bracket. So let's look at the rosters real briefly. Ascent 14-2 in the regular season. They have 404 on Medic, Rando on Pocket, Mela on Roamer, Badonsky on Demoman, and Shrugger and Yomps on Scout. And for Team SoloUber, they went 12-14 in the regular season. They have Ninja Nick on Medic, Showstopper on Pocket, Grape on Roamer, Zalox on Demoman, and Sizer and Alec on Scout. And these are two very strong rosters here at Avast.
Yeah, absolutely. But just a key note is that Zalox, they will be using, TSU will be using Block. I saw a question in chat earlier. Yes, they will be using Block. Zalox will not be here, actually, and that is actually a big decider. With Zalox not being here for TSU, Block is still very, very good. I mean, we've had this before with the TSU games, the last TSU game, but or actually not.
We've seen Block play with this lineup before. Earlier in the season, not ESEA related, it was a Razor Fall Classic, and again, Zalox couldn't play, and so Block hopped in and played there against Froyotech. But in that matchup, they lost actually. And some people said that like Ash had internet problems. He was kind of warping around, hard to hit. But TSU narrowly lost that one. And then I think with Zalox might have been the edge that they needed to beat Froyotech in the end.
Oh, definitely. Zalox is so good. He was definitely he is definitely one of the best demos in the game up there with the Duwata, Badonsky, just so experienced, incredibly good. His level of game sense is pretty absurd. And Block is very, very good too. He's proven that he can compete at the top of Invite as well, multiple times now. But he's just not Zalox. And I think many people would agree with me on TSU also that having Block is not the same as having Zalox.
I agree with you totally 100%. And without having Zalox, that's going to be a big blow to Team SoloUber. Now, let's look at this. If you look at the matchup history throughout this season at ESEA, in week 2, we saw on Sunshine that Ascent beat TSU 5-0. Very one-sided. That was exactly how it expected to go. But in like week 5, 6 on Metalworks, TSU had an upset victory against Ascent, beating them 5-2. So the head-to-head matchup is 1-1, and that makes this grand final all the more exciting.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that at this particular match for grand finals, it'll probably be one of the more evenly matched and actually, if we exclude the mix-up Banny teams, really. But it's going to be, I think, a really, really close match. I think the rosters are both pretty strong on both sides, and it's going to be close.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Ascent versus TSU in ESEA since, so it's been like a month and a half or something like that since we last saw these guys go head-to-head. And then I think even in the Fall Classic, it was hard to watch those two go head-to-head. The main focus of that Fall Classic was Froyotech versus TSU, and with TSU upsetting Froyotech in this most recent lower bracket final, it's now on TSU to see if they can upset Ascent once again. And Ascent have been a team that have been together for multiple seasons. They've shown that they're super, super strong. And I'm actually quite surprised to see this tonight, Avast, because when we saw the Banny team versus Classic Mixup, it was like a team of like all stars. Classic Mixup versus like the Banny team, which like when they were in the BP era, it was like it was like the A team versus the B team, like Banny's team was a group of players that was like, you're not quite expecting them to win, but like together, like working together as a team, they're able to get a lot of victories that way and have through good comms and good leadership, they're able to win. And I think in this situation we're here, it's a different matchup. You got Ascent, which is like super strong lineup of like players that, you have shown to beat Froyotech versus like TSU, which is like a ragtag group of guys, kind of feels like.
I don't think ragtag is the best description. I would say up and coming players would probably be better, considering the only really proven players on the TSU roster compared to what we would see previously is like Sizer and Zalox.
I mean, Sizer is a LAN champion. You've got Ninja Nick has been around for longer than any of us, and then Grape has been like super, super strong roaming soldier. So they've got solid players on their roster, but it's the third seeded team versus the first seeded team.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I'm just saying that like when we look at players like Alec, when we look at players like Showstopper, and actually I did gloss over Ninja Nick. You're right, Ninja Nick has been around for a while as well, but I think a lot of them and even players like Grape, who in the past was even rumored to who's going to play with a mix-up iteration at one point before they decide not to come back. The undue pressure on them, I think they're all proven players anyways. But this is definitely from what I would agree with you, Mr. Slin, is that it's sort of the ball's in their court.
Yeah, definitely. And then you got Team SoloUber, which, hats off to them for being the third place team in a season of ECA to actually get into the grand finals. I mean, that is unprecedented. No one ever hears of the third place team actually make it to the grand finals, and now we're actually seeing it. And if if they were to win this grand finals, they would need to win 2 best of 3s against Ascent, which is just a very strong roster like we've been talking about. That would be an amazing success story, wouldn't it?
It would be pretty incredible. But I mean, we have to remember that TSU may be number 3 in ESEA, but they're number 1 in memes. So they have the meme factor. So I think
Have you seen their Steam avatars? They're actually really good.
I have not
But
seen their Steam avatars. Are they solid? Are they solid
I
memes?
don't want to put Dash on the spot to see if he can tab and see the avatars. But the avatars, if you guys haven't seen them, are just so good. It's just like they're meme lords for sure. Okay, the HUD doesn't have them on the scoreboard, but they're definitely meme lords. They know what they're doing. So and like I don't know. Like if Showstopper were to win invite, like that he would be someone that everyone could look up to. Like a whole generation of TF2 players would be looking up to Showstopper as the #1 pocket in North America and possibly the world.
That could be the collapse of civilization as we know it, Slin. I know this, Showstopper being the #1 pocket, that could usher in a whole new era. A whole new era.
I don't think Rando would ever be able to live it down. Like he would be very upset.
That would be the end of Rando's career, possibly. That's what it would be.
All right. So I was talking to a couple guys about this earlier, and we were looking at the lineups and just kind of looking at it head to head, like 4-4 versus Ninja Nick. I would actually say 4-4 is the up and coming medic here in this matchup, saying like Ninja Nick has been around for a long time. He's super experienced. It's about time that we see him in a grand finals. And 4-4 like seeming to come out of nowhere to be in the top 2 teams and then actually being the favorite here in this matchup. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. 4-4 is he's definitely not been around quite as long as Ninja Nick, and coming in to replace the Fragile this season, who is another veteran TF2 player.
Right, so you got this up and coming guy.
Yeah, I think he's proven himself during the season as well. He has some really, really good surfs. I think he has some crazy surfs. I think Nick maybe has probably some of the best and ballsiest milking I've seen out of any medic in TF2. Like right up there with like Shade per se. But I think 4-4 has crazy surfs.
I think when you play on a team like Team SoloUber, like you really have to be like a very strong medic, and Ninja Nick is definitely that for Team SoloUber. He's just super good, and like we're watching them against Froyotech, and like when they're gonna lose mids, like Nick, he knows he's got the game sense. He's out of there. He can keep that Uber percentage for his team. So plus all of his mechanics and his escapes are very good. But 404, super good surfer like you mentioned. Like the actual surf mod, 404 is like one of the top ranked in the world too. So like he's super good at that. Like he's definitely a very good player. Now let's look at the rest of the rosters here. We got Block versus Badonsky. We were talking earlier about how not having Zalox is going to hurt Team SoloUber. What about Showstopper versus Rando? Like, what do you think about Grape versus Mela?
Well, I would definitely give the edge in pockets between Showstopper and Rando to Rando. Rando is just a absolute beast. He just has ridiculous aim. And he sometimes plays sort of a waddle pocket, but he's definitely changed up his style to be a lot more aggressive with his jumps. He doesn't run shotgun as much as he used to, though he still runs it. And between Mela and Grape, I would have to say that honestly, they're both pretty equivalent roamers. They're both great DM. Grape hits some crazy rockets, so does Mela.
Actually, speaking of running shotgun, I saw Grape was running shotgun in the last match, which is unheard of for a roamer for like many seasons. All the roamers these days, like the standard is to run gunboats, but Grape was running shotgun and actually doing a lot of work with it. It's crazy to see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's all sorts of strategies that can be run, and I know that some people in Invite definitely like to innovate, and the shotgun roamer is an innovation, really, because I think most people would agree that gunboats or roamer in particular is a much stronger pickup, but it can have its uses.
Yeah. So okay, so I guess we're saying that the matchup is pretty close then, because like between Mela and Grape, I think they're both super strong. I wouldn't give the edge to either one of them there. Yeah, definitely close on roamers, and then you give Rando the edge on pocket.
I would give Rando the slight edge, yeah.
I would give Rando a slight edge too, but I feel like just when I watch Showstopper play, he has these really awesome like breakout moments where he just goes absolutely ham, gets like 3 frags in a row, and he's not afraid to like give up his life. He's not afraid to get in there and get his hands dirty. So I'm really actually like as hard as the time everyone gives Showstopper, I'm really excited to watch him in this match.
I think he's he may be considered a bit of the embodiment of a meme, but he is actually a very solid pocket, and he does main call for TSU. Um, so he has a lot of say in how the team plays, and he is not afraid to be aggressive and lose his life. But neither is Rando. Rando isn't afraid either to jump in and try to make hero plays or put in like really big damage numbers either. So
Yeah.
I'm just giving it based off more of a history and also just how much of a beast Rando's rockets are.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely say that the Ascent players deserve to be here. They were expected to be here. They definitely deserve that first seed, and they've been playing well all season long. Team SoloUber with that upset over Froyotech are huge contenders in this match. And I think if you compare them to now that Froyotech's dead, if you compare them to the third best team, which would be Woodpig, I'd say that like it's looking really good here for Showstopper to be like definitely one of the top 2 pockets in North America right now.
And actually, said it looks like they were going to be going live.
Yeah, and we didn't even get to talk about Sugar Yomps versus Sizer Alec, which are both good as well. So I'm excited to watch this, though. This is going to be a great match. For those of you guys just joining us, this is going to be a best of 3. If Ascent wins this best of 3, they'll be winning the grand finals, and we're going to be watching Process, then Viaduct, and then Badlands.
And here we're rolling out in this first mid SLIN. And who do you want to watch?
Oh, goodness gracious. I actually do want to watch Showstopper here, who is equalizing his way towards middle. And you do see the demo man here at the very start of this. Podolsky actually shooting some stickies up on the high ground, block using that Australium sticky launcher on the other side. And looks like looking at Grape here, jumps up and meets head-to-head with the other soldier, launches him across to the far side. Yomps picking up a frag onto Sizer, and Ascent are actually turning a ton of frags here. Both soldiers for Team SoloUber are down, as well as Sizer. Yomps trying to chase out Alec with the pistol, and Rando's able to finish that off with a shotgun. Shrugger deep as well to pick off block, and Ninja Nick is absolutely out of there. He's in spawn already, but Ascent are coming out on top with this first mid win.
That was an absurd mid-fight from the scouts of Ascent. They just did so much damage, and like combined with Podolsky, we were able to clean up a lot of players. And actually, if you notice, Podolsky jumped around the team and just was on last by the time there as the process of TSU was getting won. But Sin's gonna be here on this last. It looks like they're gonna be trying to trade. They're going for Ninja Nick right now. Ninja Nick doesn't have it. Oh, Ninja Nick's getting shotgun in the air. That's a big pick right now from Ascent.
Oh, absolutely huge. Getting the medic down before we can get Uber. Now Ascent can just play the heals. They're playing tight together by the point and baiting TSC members to the point they cannot defend without heals, and Ascent are gonna go up in the lead 1-0 here, and that was a very solid, just textbook round by them.
That was all on the mid. Their scouts just mulched the TSU soldiers and one of the scouts very early, and pretty much they were leaving through choke, and Podolsky was able to jump above the leaving TSU players and be on last, ready to stick. But on this next mid, it looks like Podolsky and Block are going to be trading sticks very early.
Yeah, and Mela a little bit slow on his rollout here. He wanted to go for something a little faster, but he's now just taking the slow route towards the right side. Ascent rotating towards the right together. Showstopper jumps up the high ground and does push Mela off towards the side. It's very slow to develop middle. The scouts for Ascent, though, controlling that high ground, keeping TSU soldiers off of that. Meanwhile, 4-4 playing back and under no threat at all as Yomps pushes across and takes down Alec and Grape. Shrugger now trying to put pressure on, and Ninja Nick finishes him off with the scatter gun and now pulls out his pistol. Gets taken down, though, by Block, and looks like it's going to be a 3-on-3. Mela, though, from the high ground is able to take down Showstopper and now moves towards the left to put pressure onto Block. There is Sizer in, trying to get Podolsky and 404 here, now 94%, but he's able to stay alive, and looks like Ascent are able to play out the rest of the heals here, and that means TSU are going to lose this mid.
I know, Sizer's still in, so he's going to be trying to distract and going for picks. Just a very slow mid. Sizer's still fighting him. He should be cleaned up or leave shortly, because it's going to be kind of ballsy. Actually, he's saving time. He hasn't let them get any cap time, and TSU is going to come in and fight this. And Ascent will be fighting it too, but Ascent does have the Uber advantage. They really don't want to pop this unless they get a pick. Yomps will pick up Grapes. Sizer gets caught in too. So that's going to be a mid now for Ascent, and they're going to be pushing through sewers, actually, and the rest of their team coming through choke to fight this second.
Yeah, and it was really nicely done by Ascent to not use the Uber while getting that middle down. The mid hasn't been capped yet. Like you said, it's just a super slow middle, but Ascent are able to get the victory there, and it looks like TSU are going to have to sit back on last. Alec is already setting up a sentry gun, and Ascent have that Uber, but it looks like Ninja Nick was able to get his as well, and a nice job by Sizer, actually, to stall out Ascent and allow Nick to get Uber this time for this defense.
Yeah, that stall was very good. Actually, we're going to see an exchange right here. Ninja Nick going very low, 20 HP. Rando's going to jump up top, drawing Showstopper. Ascent can't really do anything off this, even if Rando is fighting Showstopper, because they really need to get the gun, and it looks like Showstopper will actually clean up Rando. So they removed the Uber, and we're going to see a slight Uber ad from 404.
Yeah, nothing too crazy here. Looks like Grape was peeking for maybe a counter sacrifice. He's looking around in the lobby, but can't really find an opening with Mela up on that high ground there, so things are going to even out. And this is a situation that's actually pretty good for Ascent. They have one round on the board, they have control of the 4th point, and they just like to play it nice and slow. You're going to see Shrugger go for a sacrifice there, dies to the sentry gun of Alec, but he's mostly just going to sacrifice and probably switch over to Sniper. We've seen Shrugger sniping this season, looks very good, so Ascent are very comfortable here.
Yeah, and Sider's going to be peeking from this lower right lobby aggressively since they're going to be down, or lower left lobby, I should say, from blue spawn. Looking for a pick as Shrugger gets up on Sniper and is going to be re-pushing soon. I actually would have liked to see Alec Sniper, even though Sizer isn't bad at all at Sniper by any means. But Alec, I feel, was a real difference maker in some previous games with TSU as Sniper.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of snipers that are difference maker, looking at Shrugger on that left side, shutter door, picking off Grape. That's exactly what Ascent needed here to start off this push towards last. Now you're going to look at Rando because he's probably going to go in for some kind of force or some kind of Uber exchange. Looks like Ascent are posturing themselves, getting ready to get in there. Shrugger getting another kill on the Showstopper. Both soldiers for TSU were dead, but Grape has respawned as Badonsky goes in for that force. Cannot get it, though. Both these Ubers are going to remain even. Looks like Mela's in from behind left, though.
That was, we're going to actually Uber pop from Ascent, but they're not going to be able to get anything since they're down Badonsky and Mela, so they won't be able to pressure the gun really effectively at all. They won't have any point presence. It was foolhardy, really, from Badonsky. He went in, tried to get the force, but he went in alone. If he had just had another player commit with him, they would have easily been able to get that force. But he just went and died. And it was, I don't know.
It's weird to go in for a force slash to Ninja Nick and rob them of the heals. The bombing soldiers trying to counterattack and get 404 down, but they cannot. 404 is just too crafty. He's ducked himself into the... It looks like TSU are trying to get him, but no. Oh, right at the very end. Yeah, he isn't able to escape. TSU are only one member alive. He eats the rocket, the Showstopper eating the rocket from Rando, and Ascent win another middle. So they do lose 404 this time. Both teams trade medics, but Ascent got a third mid win in a row.
And actually, Badonsky has a really sticky trap. Yeah, he's going to get Sizer, which will slow them down a bit from contesting this mid. They're probably going to actually just fight for second now. But Ascent is doing such a good job of controlling up top and denying TSU any sort of forward aggression on these mids. But it's TSU is really trying to open up with flank, like with Grape. He managed to actually walk through the opposing choke, just like waddle through, and then rebomb later to allow TSU, even if they were down players in the med already, to pick up 404.
Yeah, it looks like Ascent might be going for a drive push. They're looking like they want to peek the choke here, but the Uber advantage actually in favor of TSU with a 20% advantage. That looks like they've moved towards IT and picked off Shrugger. So TSU now actually a 2-man advantage. Sizer getting one on the Yomps as the Uber comes in from TSU. They're jumping in, trying to get Badonsky. He's down super low in IT, and Grape's able to finish that one off there. That's 3 players killed with that Uber. Pretty good for TSU. 4-4 has Uber now, but he's not in position to use it properly. Actually, Showstopper jumps into the yard and gets that force. Grape's still there behind them as well. Looks like Mela and Shrugger are going to go try and finish that one off there, but Grape tries to get out Sewers, isn't able to do it. So TSU are actually down 2 players now, and Ascent want to fight this.
Wow, Rando's very, very aggressive. He's weak, but he's still fighting. Actually, Mela's behind them. He's probably gonna get Nick. Oh, Nick is so weak. That was actually very upsetting to watch. And also right before that, Rando had hit a massive air shot with the TSU soldiers trying to get the med pick. But now actually, Ascent's gonna be down both their soldiers, and I expect a TSU push very soon since there's gonna be no soldier die on these chokes.
Yeah, TSU has the number advantage. Sizer's trying to fight in IT right now with the help of Great to take down Shrugger. They're going to trade 1-for-1. Yomps is over there still battling out with Great. Meanwhile, the rest of the team from TSU has come in through the choke, and they're putting capture time on 4th point here. So TSU looking good to get this 4th point down. The Uber's going to be used by Nick, so they're going to exchange them at rollout. Both teams using that Uber. Rando getting behind them with this Uber to try and block that 2nd point capture, but it has gone down for TSU, and now TSU are fighting, trying to hold on to this if they can. Ascent are just streaming back in and fighting for this. Putting capture time there. Mela jumps towards the choke but gets taken down by Block. And TSU have that number advantage once again with both soldiers down from Ascent. So TSU want to get back into the Showstopper goes down, and here comes Yomps in from behind. These pills from Badonsky though are huge, taking down Showstopper and Ninja Nick. And TSU are going to get cleaned up by Ascent here. Ascent winning this team fight.
4-4 did go down very late though to Alec. He actually came in late and picked up 4-4. So Block and Grape will should be backing out here. It's not wise to fight, but TSU expect a repush here because they're gonna have heals And they also are coming in with their spawns right now. They don't have heals yet in Ascent. They're actually leading in with Showstopper. Grape is bombing, and Ascent's going to be backing up a little bit, but I imagine once 4-4 gets there, they're probably going to try to contest this. They actually...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they were trying to stay in a little bit longer to stall and maybe get their heals into middle, but 4-4 wasn't able to get there in time. Benoski, though, with a nice sticky kill onto Grape. I don't think it's going to be enough here for them to stop middle from going down here. So TSU get the capture down. 4-4 has himself an Uber advantage, and Ascent have that number advantage. They want to come back in. Mela jumps high, taking the high ground, and actually look at Shrugger in the mix onto Ninja Nick. Takes him down, and now Ascent can just play the heals here to win this team fight. They focus fire down Showstopper. Alec is very lit on the left side as well, but Donski's able to finish him off with a sticky block. Jumps in on a 4-4 to try and trade medics, but he can't get it down there. And Ascent have huge number advantage here. They're going to get this middle capture down and a huge Uber advantage as well for their team. A nice team fight from Ascent to get that victory.
Yeah, they definitely capitalized off that. What I could say ridiculous sticky trap for Benoski to kill Grape. And now actually Grape's on Sniper peeking from rollout. I think they're aware of it, so they're moving through sewers where the sightline isn't nearly as good. And they're just going to spam out rollout, and they're going to pick up second. And really capitalizing off that Benoski sticky pick, and Shrugger just motoring forward and picking up Ninja Nick. In a very
I think motoring's a good way to
fashion.
describe it, but it's also just cool to see them jumping in together and playing as a team and focus firing, and also doing a very good job of keeping 4-4 alive. That's why they have this Uber advantage now as they push into the last point, get the sentry gun down. And TSU are not really in a good position to defend the last point. They have stickies on it. Yomps is putting some corner capture time down there. There's a lot of capture time actually as TSU try their best to block the point. Ascent on the left side though, Shrugger moves in, takes down Ninja Nick, and now Ascent have the number advantage. They're moving into the point. Yomps is able to finish off that capture, and Ascent bring it to halftime. That's going to be 3-0 in what's been a very one-sided half this far.
That is just, this is a pounding, is the best way I would describe it.
Pounding.
It is a pounding, a Mick quarter pounder with extra pound. So it's like a half pound, but
a lot
even
of
more
pounding.
pound. There's a lot of pounding going on. Like, the scouts of Ascent are just absurd right now. Like, and Benoski too. Like, I watched Benoski on the repush from Ascent second, literally walk out of Shutter one, put a sticky onto Ninja Nick and force him without being contested. And he's just getting away with these really dumb things. Dumb, stupid things is what I would say. So
it's tough to watch for TSU because every time Ninja Nick goes down, they try and sell out and try and take down 404. But I think Ascent are kind of getting the hang of that. They're kind of realizing that, okay, if Shrugger can get in and get Ninja Nick down, they're all going to come for 404. So they just do a really good job of just protecting him, keeping him alive, and they're able to clean up the rest of those frags there. And then once they have that huge Uber advantage, they rolled into last. There's nothing that TSU can seem to do.
Yeah, they're really just capitalizing off of TSU just losing players, and the scouts of Ascent are just denying all aggression really, and picking up frags. And they like on that last push, it honestly could have been a TSU victory, except for the fact that Shrugger and Yomps were able to just dance around Ninja Nick and Showstopper on the left along with the rest of TSU, and even when being extremely low, they picked up like 3 picks between them, just winning them that last fight.
Well, we were talking earlier about how TSU did a really good job of beating Froyotech, but they don't have Zalox tonight, and they have Block on Demoman instead. And I'm not saying he's performing poorly, but TSU need to step up their game here if they're gonna win against Ascent, because they have to win 2 best-of-3s, and it's already 3-0 in favor of Ascent.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's gonna be a very long, and actually we've gone live here. Block is on mid fighting Benoski as we speak, and they trade some good sticky, and it looks like they're gonna be rotating right, and we're gonna be seeing another mid coming out here, and maybe a more aggressive or possibly more passive mid for TSU.
Well, Ascent are playing a very passive mid. You see Mela on the shutter of his own sewers, and now finally jumping to take control of the high ground. His Grape comes off of the left side. IT super late. He's gonna land on the health pack and save himself. Looks like Ascent are actually playing super far back. Shrugger though, top right crate, now crossing over with Yomps to take down Block. That's 3 frags now as the scouts for Ascent are absolutely destroying Team SoloUber, and they've completely wiped here now, and Ascent have a huge Uber advantage winning that middle.
Yomps God, Yomps_God, SLIN. He's so good. He just, every time I watch Yomps play, I want to build a shrine to him. And he's so good. He's so good, SLIN. Like, the scouts of Ascent, like, the rest of Ascent were really poor health on the mid fight, but the scouts of Ascent were fully healthy, and they just, like, tanked forward and mulched
Oh,
people
and
on that
speaking of
top.
super good, I mean, Badonsky having a trap on the shutter door of Spawn, able to get a kill there to open this up as the Uber comes in from Ascent. Rando jumps all over block, and Mela with the spam from the left side to take him down. And Alec, now Ascent are crossing over to the right to put pressure on the combo from Team SoloUber and capture time on the point. Team SoloUber can do nothing in defense, and Ascent are up 4-0. It's been super dominant, a pounding like Avast has been saying. An absolute pounding here. Ascent are wiping the floor with Team SoloUber.
TSU really needs to change. They were very close to actually winning that last mid. The Ascent health was not good, but they didn't do anything about the Ascent scouts, and they didn't clean up the hurt players. So I really need to see TSU either be much more aggressive or deal with the Ascent scouts. Preferably deal with the Ascent scouts.
Not looking good at the start of this middle. Badonsky hit a nasty sticky on block to start things off as TSU are going to try and get aggressive on this one. Grape is jumping deep into the enemy choke to try and keep 4-4 in play, but Shrugger is just too good at this game. He takes him down, and now Mela crosses left side sewers, actually forcing TSU to back out because Mela is getting behind them. He actually spams down Showstopper with rockets, and now here comes Shrugger to take down Sizer with the help of Rando. They're able to finish him off. That's 3 players down for Team SoloUber, and the combo trying desperately to back away from Mela, who's just jumping all over the place and putting a ton of pressure onto Team SoloUber. They can do nothing in defense, and Ascent are huge numbers up. They have an Uber, a slight actually Uber disadvantage, but they're able to get it here now. They want to exchange Ubers at last. Mela goes down, but they want to exchange the Ubers. Grape is actually forced here. 4-4 pops a better one, and they flash Shrugger in to help as well. Showstopper super low, finished off by Badonsky at the lobby, and now Ascent want to push into last. Rando jumps high towards the right, and Ascent have no fear here, getting into this right side shutter door to take down Grape and block. Now putting point pressure onto last to finish this off in this first map, and Team SoloUber, Sizer, their only hope alive, cannot defend. Ascent make it a quick 5-0 in this first map and get the early lead in this best of 3.
Oh my goodness, SLIN. I mean, it can only be, you know, summarized in one word, and I think you know what that word is, SLIN. It's pounding. It's a pounding is what happened there.
It's so hard to watch, man.
It's rough. It was really rough from TSU. I just felt they weren't nearly as coordinated on the mids, and they did nothing. And they just really did nothing to shut down the Ascent scout aggression or anything about the Ascent focus fire.
The confidence from Ascent, you can just see it there. As soon as they get one pick, Mela jumps in deep, and Shrugger just starts shoving forward. And TSU are just backing away, just running away scared, trying to not bleed out too many players there. It's really awesome to see Ascent do so well.
Yeah, I mean, they're proving why they're such a strong team here in this match. Like, they just were they were in command of literally every step of this match, really. There was only like maybe one portion of the match that TSU was even close to getting to the Ascent last. And the pressure from Ascent was just ridiculous. Like, Badonsky was able to do things that he really shouldn't have been able to, and the Ascent scouts were just never shut down. And it allowed the Ascent the soldiers to just get lots of free reign. And I saw some good play from the TSU, especially like soldiers. I think Showstopper was doing a pretty good job this match, actually. He tried his best, but obviously when your team crumbles around you and you just don't have any ability to control these points, then there's just nothing you can do as one player.
Well, the top damaging player for that match for Team SoloUber was their most veteran player, Sizer, with 307 damage done per minute, which is actually very high for a scout block. Close behind at 296, but Showstopper, unfortunately, down at 248. He was third for Team SoloUber, and the stats tell the story there because Team SoloUber just could not create openings for themselves to get themselves into that match. Meanwhile, you look at the other side for Ascent, and almost everyone having huge damage numbers. Shrugger, 320 damage per minute. Rando, 322. Badonsky at 400. You can see it right there. Having an extra 100 damage per minute done by your demo man is a huge difference.
That's insane. And also, not on top of that, Badonsky not only did like 400 DPM, which is close to 100 DPM more, but also he got nearly half the heals that block did.
It's rough, but I mean, I think it's hard to look at the heal stats when the rounds are going that quickly, right? Like the very first round of the match was 1 minute and 31 seconds. They're just super quick rounds. And Team SoloUber, it looked like they lost the mid and then immediately lost the round after that. I think they had, at one point in time, they were able to, with Sizer on middle, dancing around, was able to stall and allow Ninja to get Uber in time for last. That was the closest round that we saw, was the one where, Team SoloUber were on the last point on even Uber, but then Shrugger on Sniper was just absolutely devastating. He's just showing like he's one of the best scouts in North America, hands down, if not the best. and showing like he's super good, probably like one of the best in the world. So what can you do against that if you're TSU? I mean,
You
it's
just need
tough.
to
It's tough.
first and foremost, you just need to win mids, or at least make mids. As our great grandfather Marxist would say, a Pyrrhic victory for the opposing team by making them
Pyrrhic?
lose enough. Yeah, by making them lose enough players and hopefully a med, so that they don't have Uber mana to win the rest of the mid. And it's just Marxist things. Hashtag just Marxist things. So
He's the best.
I think that's the first step for TSU is they really need to take command of these mids, and they also need to really need to shut down the Ascent scout aggression, and their soldiers need to be trying to do a little bit more. Though I know it's tough as a soldier to bomb into the likes of Yomps and Shrugger, who just mulch everything in their path.
Yeah, it's definitely a game about frags there. Pretty much every player on Ascent going like 2-1, with Yomps going 3-1, 16 and 5 was his KD. Yomps playing absolutely out of his mind. So if you're TSU, this might be a better map for you. This is the second map in this best of 3. It is going to be King of the Hill Viaduct. And we've seen some decent matches, but it always seems like on Viaduct, the team with a better DM is going to win. And right now it's looking like an Ascent.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a map where this is gonna. I mean, not only just logically will it make or break TSU because they have to win this map or they lose, but it's a map that if they can beat Ascent on this map, then they can beat them on the other maps, because this is a very, very strong Ascent map where Yomps and Shrugger they can merge their auras into one giant fragging superhuman being and then just tramp across the ground and just kill everything in its path, like some sort of genocidal spirit. So I think this is the place for them to stop the Ascent, especially the Yomp God. This
to stop
is the place.
the Ascent.
Yeah, this is the place.
They have to kill it from within.
Have to. So,
well,
but I think it could be a good. I think this could be the turnaround that we're looking for, SLIN.
I'm not putting my bets on Team SoloUber. I'm just saying that right now. If you guys are betting on SLIN TF or whatever you're betting on, like I wouldn't put my money on TSU. But hopefully they can get some rounds here and make this interesting. But you got to give it a hand to TSU. They, like I said, they took down Viaduct. They made it here to the grand finals. They deserve to be here. And even if they get completely wiped in this next map and the grand finals is over, you got to give them a hand for at least making second place. I mean, they got to be very proud of themselves. But if they can take rounds off Ascent here, if they can actually win a map, that would be an even bigger deal.
Yeah, it'd
be icing on the cake.
Especially if it's on Viaduct against Ascent. Because I think this is a map where the Ascent really holds the edge, but it's also the place where TSU can really just have the biggest upset and do the best, in my opinion. So
yeah. Well,
it will be
there's
a good matchup.
There's a lot of threats they got to shut down here. I mean, they got to shut down Vadonsky, who did 400 damage per minute. They got to shut down the scouts, Yomps and Shrugger, who are doing super well. And then Rando and Milo are no slouches themselves. And like every time Ninja Nick died, like I said, they tried to go for 4-4, but he was just too crafty staying alive most of the time. They did get the trades off sometimes, but that still gave Ascent the advantage. So if you are TSU, first of all, you got to come up with some mid wins here, and you got to go big. You got to really go for some sort of all-in strategy, because going for something conservative here is not the way to go, because you're going to lose. So if you're going to lose, you might as well do it in style.
Yeah, definitely not, especially since Ascent's strategy so far. And I mean, after playing against them this season invite as well, and just watching other casts and, casting them, it revolves a lot around waiting for their scouts to get the opening, or like letting their team have their team like be lower health and take the damage while their scouts can still be full, and really just open up what they need for Ascent. And so I think that TSU needs to do a lot better job on focusing scouts, because this is a map where you can do it a lot better, because the terrain is a lot more conducive for at least demos to spam scouts a lot easier.
Yeah. There's also options for Ascent as well. I mean, we were seeing in that last map how good Shrugger is on Sniper, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Ascent play Shrugger on Sniper here. It'd just be more confusion for TSU. It's just another thing for them to deal with here in what's already a very difficult pounding of a match that we've seen.
Yeah, right. You gotta put the emphasis on it, SLIN.
Pounding? Pounding.
There we go. Excellent.
Yeah. So those guys just joining us, Ascent have the lead in this best of 3, up 1-0, coming from the upper bracket. So if they win this map on Viaduct, that will be it. That will be over. Your victors will be Ascent. and they will take home the grand prize. But if TSU can win this map, they will force it to map 3, which will be Badlands, a map that they are very familiar with. So let's see if TSU on this map can pull out a win here and force us to a map 3, and then to another best of 3 maybe. That might be a little too ambitious.
Yeah, I mean, but we want it to be ambitious because we want to see more TF2 SLIN. So
I love seeing TF2. Yes.
I'm a fan of TF2 myself.
I'm a TF2 fan.
And it looks like we've gone live, SLIN, and we're gonna be getting into this first mid fight.
We are, and it looks like both teams will be running standard setups. No sniper, no heavy, no nothing crazy. So this will be a standard 6-on-6 as we head into Koth Viaduct, and it's a map that like we said, it focuses a lot on team fights. It focuses a lot on damage, and Ascent have shown that they've been very, very strong thus far, winning 5-0 on process. So will it be a 4-0 on Viaduct? We'll find out. It looks like Rando, top left, is already getting spanned off of his rock that he wants to be on, but Nazi actually getting juggled up a bit, and Block is doing decent damage to him, bringing him down to half health, and TSU getting a little more confident now as they make their way across, and it looks like Mela, though, is able to shut down that left side tunnel, not allow TSU to get through that, actually hitting good damage onto the soldier there as well. Grape is actually pretty damaged. Alec is able to find an opening there on the right side and take down Yomps. It's going to force Ascent back. They're playing very conservatively. The capture goes down for TSU.
That was a really, really good mid-fight from Block. Block did such good zoning and very, very solid damage on Ascent on this slope. And actually, Rando's really, really hurt right now. He took a lot of spam, but they're not going to drop him. He's going to stay alive. And Ascent's going to be looking to retake this. And I want to see a really good collapse from TSU on this. Rando's very hurt again, and they get an early force. But Ninja Nick confident to save Block in return, though. So it looks like it's going to be a demo solo.
Yeah, TSU with a slightly better Uber here, but they don't have the presence on the point yet. Now they're coming across. It looks like Alec is trying to push back the players from Ascent now onto the low ground. Actually, wow, the focus fire top right to take down Mela. But from behind, though, Rando is able to take down Block. He goes down in the house to Sizer. TSU number advantage. And Showstopper in from behind is want to take down 404. And now TSU have the number advantage. Watch out from behind, though. Here comes Shrugger, but Ninja Nick is able to stay alive. And TSU are actually winning here by a lot. They get the capture back. 30 seconds on the clock is the lead, plus the Uber advantage. And TSU actually up to a very good start.
Yeah, that was a very, very good fight from TSU. They got a Uber early. I mean, they had to put a solo on Block, but they got really good damage. This Rando jumping behind, they were able to ignore long enough. Actually, they're going to be collapsing here on the TSU scout. Sizer's really, really... Sizer goes on Alex, so there's no scouts for TSU. It's going to be really tough to contest. Sizer just leaving. And they are
TSU, they don't want to give up that Uber advantage there. A nice heads-up play by Ascent to use those respawn advantages to get in there before Ninja Nick got his Uber. Now TSU have their Uber. 404, 75%, just 10 seconds away from getting it. And if TSU want to use their advantage, they need to get in right now, but they're a bit slow on the take. 404, 90% here. He's going to have it in time to defend the point. That's going to be crucial here. As an even Uber fight will be breaking out soon. Sizer left side, though, gets taken down by Mela, and Ascent have the number advantage. Now they're pushing it, forcing Showstopper on the point, and Ninja Nick is using a quite terrible Uber. Rando with a better one behind them. Rando actually jumps into Block, putting a lot of pressure onto him. Nice rockets landing, but can't finish off the kill. He actually goes down. Block survives with 1 health, and TSU want to get back into the point. Looks like Grape is high in the sky, but gets finished off by Shrugger. Allegan from behind, and Showstopper jumping in to help out as well. Mela barely surviving his turn with 4 health, but TSU have jumped in and finishes off there. Showstopper picking up 2 frags and the capture as well.
That looked so poor from TSU early, because they were chasing Rando as their Uber was ending, and then Ninja Nick just got like stomped upon on the edge of the rock. But Alec came in and clutched it by killing 404, drawing them all together, and Showstopper followed up with a bomb, and just they cleaned it up and did a really, really good exchange. In a sense, going to be repushing. They're all TSU stuck on their slope here. Shrugger's very hurt. Shrugger's cleaned up. Oh, they're going to clean up Block and Alec though, and Grape might go down the flank as well.
Yeah, Rando from behind is doing so much damage to the enemy team and actually just staying super healthy himself. He backs off of this, and Ascent were just... There's no fear in their eyes at all. They're just shoving in there, taking the even 6-on-6 fight and winning. TSU are just scared of that. They back off, and with these soldiers behind, it's hard for TSU to keep everything in front.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they had a really good play, but Ascent is just using a very concentrated aggression and putting so much good spam on them in their slope. And TSU is going to be aggressing very heavily. And actually, the Ascent flank is very hurt right now. Block getting good damage on them. TSU needs to be fighting the flank. They actually, Sizer will go down to Bnonsky, and they're going to be pushing Block out. Block's probably going to go down, actually. No, he survives with 1 HP again, and they're going to pick up Shrugger. There's going to be an Uber exchange, actually.
But Rando's able to find Block back there, hiding, waiting for the health pack, so they get him down. And without that Devilman, it's going to be hard for TSU to defend this. They're going to try for it, though. They're going to try and fight for this. They want in. Grape is actually staying alive miraculously as TSU push towards the point, get the capture down, and now the scouts, Sizer in, putting pressure onto Rando. He's down super low, but is able to hold off these guys just a bit longer. Looks like TSU were fighting tooth and nail for that point, able to get it, and it's actually a very close game here. Even Ubers for both teams, even on the clock, and it's anybody's round.
Yeah, Alec once again doing such a good job with Showstopper, and they're actually put so much damage on Rando, but he got saved by arrows.
Back into this.
Yeah,
look how low Alec is.
Aggressive.
Yeah, and the counter aggression from TSU is not working out for them. They lose Ninja Nick, they lose Showstopper and Grape, and without their medic, but Ascent get captured back down. So it looks like Ascent are actually moving into a forward hold to deny TSU an opportunity to push out quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we're actually going to be getting 4-4 did go down, so we're seeing an Uber advantage. And Sizer's being very aggressive here, leading the Ascent players are not the best health, especially Podonsky. So TSU should just be focusing this point, and they're going to be backing up to go get kills with 4-4. And actually, Melo is in, and he gets picked up by Sizer. So they're going to be one down. So, but so will TSU. And actually, oh my gosh, Showstopper just got mulched by Sugar and Yams in the air there.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like TSU are trying to hold up the point, but Ascent, they just can't stop them from getting in there. And look at Yobs is trying to push for Ninja Nick. Pistol out, gets him super low down to 13 health, but cannot finish the frag. They sell out for the medic, don't get him down there, but still, with that aggression from Yobs, it's enough to drive back the players from TSU, and Ascent are able to get the capture point down. Both teams dangerously close to Uber here. Actually, Ninja Nick is at 85%, and they're going to want to move with this Uber. Ascent actually playing super conservatively. They do not want to get anywhere near this Uber. They're going to try and spam for the force, but Ninja Nick is under no pressure at all. Now here comes Mela from the side, jumping towards him, but cannot put damage onto Ninja Nick. Doesn't get the force, but now the Ubers finally popped the save Showstopper. TSU want to move forward with this Uber, but all they can find is Rando. The missed air shot onto Rando, it doesn't get any frags, so here comes Ascent now with their Uber advantage. They actually kill Ninja Nick, and that is going to be terrible for Team SoloUber. 8 seconds on the clock now as the cap goes down for Ascent, and TSU need to jump in here and try and block this, but they cannot do that. There's only 2 players alive, and Ascent are going to win this round narrowly.
Yeah, that was a good round, SLIN. That was a very good round.
It was a good round.
TSU showing a lot of backbone there. They did a really, really good job at pushing, especially Alec and Showstopper's coordination was excellent during that last round. And I'd like to see Sizer and Grape also just be more coordinated with their bombs and their flanking. And we're going to get to another mid now with a lot of good spam. Mela bombing very aggressively behind, actually, trying to draw them back. And Ascent's going to be following up after that. They're all the way on the point, very, very aggressively. But a Yomps will go down. Shrugger will pick up Showstopper. Oh, but a Rando will pick up Block, and Podonsky will double dog Alec. And it looks like TSU's going to be trying to leave. With Nick very hurt. Will he go down?
And Mela tries to get him, but cannot finish off Ninja Nick. And there's a nice save there by Nick. We've talked about his survivability. He's super good. Ascent had a weird mid strategy where they just jumped both soldiers behind there and actually looked like Mela was around dancing in spawn for a little bit, but Ascent were able to get the mid down. The victory there for them. They're down Mela though, and TSU with this respawn advantage. Looks like they might want to use that 6-on-5, but nice donk there from Podonsky to take down Showstopper. He's in a bit of trouble. Surfs that out. Wow, super good from Podonsky as Rando jumps into China and takes down Grape. And now TSU are down too many players. Ninja Nick is at half health, but they're gonna get forced. Those loose cannon shots from Podonsky are just super good. They force Ninja Nick. Now the counter Uber in from Ascent, and Shrugger pushing forward with Rando, and now Mela from the side. They take down Nick, they take down Block and Alec, and that's going to be 3 down for TSU. And TSU, the rest of the fragging players, can do nothing here to fight this off. And actually Ascent are playing so cleanly. They haven't lost a single player in this fight, and Ascent are cleaning this up beautifully. Sizer goes down as the end of it on a respawn wave. He's going to be on a different one, and Ascent are taking a minute off the clock here in the lead.
Yeah, and they're going to be forward holding now, and Podonsky had to have put like 500 to 600 damage out with only the loose cannon and the minutes before Ninja Nick got forced by Podonsky's loose cannon. He did so much damage, and actually Melo will be cleaned up by TSU here. They were trying to do the Froyo hold as it's termed, but he gets cleaned up by TSU. TSU will be flooding out now, and TSU is going to be very, very aggressive with that pick, and they're going to be trying to force Ascent off this point.
Podonsky super low, gonna have to back off. Showstopper jumps to 404, forces the Uber. Rando trying to use that Uber to get Ninja Nick. He actually gets the frag. Ascent are coming in to help out and get the rest of these frags here. Looks like Grape with the counter sacrifice able to finish off 404. A big pick there, but Ascent still win the team fight, and the clock is still ticking for Ascent. They're up now 1 minute and 45 seconds. And it's going to be very tough for TSU to battle themselves and get themselves back into this round. But they have the heal advantage. They have a chance to get back into this.
Yeah, they have the spawn advantage as well. So, I mean, they can win this. It's just Rando hit really meaty rocket onto Ninja Nick right when they're at 90%, which is rough. But they're going to be pushing this point now. Mela's actually hiding on the shack, waiting to bomb. He's going to be trying to bait TSU, I think, to him, and they're getting a lot of good cap back. Rando's fighting. Mela's actually fighting Showstopper. Showstopper's going to go down. They're going to pick up Shrugger as well, but they're going to lose Alec to a sticky trap.
Oh, here comes Rando, though. Big bomb to take down Block. He's actually pressuring back Sizer and Ninja Nick and allowing the rest of his team to clean up these bombers from TSU. So now here comes Mela to help out with Yomps. They're onto Ninja Nick, and he gets taken down once again. Ninja Nick cannot stay alive right here to get Uber, and 404 is able to back off safely while the point continues to tick down in time. Now TSU put the capture time down. They get the capture there. That's going to put Ninja Nick on an even longer respawn, though, and that actually favors Ascent now. They're actually coming back in to fight the rest of these players from TSU, the remaining players that are alive. So many hurt players from Ascent. They're down super low. But
they will pick up Rando, though, and I mean, even if Ninja Nick died, they managed to pick up the point, so it's not going to be a shutout. But TSU is very low health, and they're down a player. It looks like Showstopper's actually going to go down on the flank, too. But TSU
he's
has
alive.
to fight it. Wow, he lived. But they're still fighting. Actually, they're going to force it. They can kite this Uber SLIN. They can maybe still do... it looks like Liberty collapsed here on the flank, though, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah, Ninja Nick just cannot stay alive there. You get the force out of...
Wave did so much damage, SLIN!
Yeah, they jump back in. But,
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, SLIN. It's just
I was trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah. No, it was really good. I think Ascent had a better Uber. They were able to trap Ninja Nick, and Ninja Nick cannot stay alive in these fights. He wants to stay alive, but he just can't escape. Like Ascent are moving so quickly, they keep him trapped in there. But the counter stack from TSU was was good. It was just they took down 404. They almost looked like they were gonna win that, but it looked like Ascent had won the team fight after all. So they're up 2-0 now. Ascent are in the lead very confidently as they get 2 frags off the start of this middle, taking down Grape and Alec. Now Block is super hurt, trying to back off right side. He gets taken down, and now Ascent have huge number advantage, and Ninja Nick, he does back himself off to keep the Uber for his team, but Ascent are winning a bunch of these middles here, and it's tough for TSU. They're actually moving into a forward hold now. Yeah,
it was a pretty dominant mid fight from Ascent, and also a very dominant screech from my mic that apparently deafened multiple people. And I apologize that some sort of microphone demon is inhabiting my headset. So viewers, this is unfortunate for you, but great for me because I don't hear it. And
yeah, I didn't hear it at all.
Be pushing here a slope. They're going to be pushing. They're actually being very aggressive. Sugar's pretty hurt. So is Rando, but they're going to get a force very early off TSU, and actually a counter pop from Ascent, and this could be very good because Rando's gone very deep. Ooh, he's very lit though.
Yeah, Ascent pops a better Uber, but they aren't really able to do that much damage with it. Benassi actually comes off the side, is able to finish off Ninja Nick as the Shrugger helps to take down Sizer, and now Benassi can't stay alive, but the damage is done. They took down Ninja Nick. 404 survives Showstopper's bomb. Showstopper actually killing himself there, but Ascent, they're just showing how good they are as a team, the team play. They're able to take down Ninja Nick, but also keep 404 alive in the process, and through that, they're able to play the heals, clean up all the frags, and they have the timer just ticking down here. And it's TSU, they want to get 404 down, but they also have to keep Ninja Nick alive as well. They're having a hard time doing that.
Yeah, Ninja Nick is not surviving, and they're just not winning any transition fights. Like, they're just letting Uber players run into him and kill them, and they actually be pushing slope very aggressively. Shrugger will go down, Alec will go down, Showstopper will go down there. He's so aggressive fighting his Grape's very hurt. Size will be pushing Mela. Size will pick up Mela though. And they're still fighting here. Block has really good spam angle.
Oh, and another kill by Sizer. Yeah, Sizer went absolutely huge, pushing that tunnel, taking down a couple players with him, and Grape goes for the sacrifice there, but gets piped down and finished off by Rando. So looks like TSU are finally able to get a capture point and start ticking their clock down, but they're already a minute and 40 seconds behind, so they need to do a really nice stall if they can, but they're down a soldier. It's going to be tough to force 404 here as they begin rotating towards the point. Rando actually making a lot of space before the Ubers even pop. Now they pop in and flash Yomps. So actually a better Uber here from TSU. It's onto a demo scout to see if TSU can win the resulting team fight. Block actually juggled up into the air. Yomps trying to get him. Shrugger now dives in and finishes off the frag. Ninja Nick super low, gonna have to back off and actually fire some crossbows towards his teammates. Look how many hurt players there are for TSU though. They're gonna have a hard time winning this fight. Ascent are actually making their way back in with these aggressive scouts. Grape in the house, dodging around trying to find 404. They have their backs up to against each other, but Shrugger's able to finish that one off with the pistol. Ascent have the number advantage. They want to come back in.
Yeah, they're gonna fight very hard. And once again, TSU doing their Grape did a good job to distract, but Showstopper I think getting a little bit overzealous and getting cleaned up with no support very far in. So I think TSU's soldiers, they have the right idea. But I don't want their soldiers getting too far extended where they're going to be cleaned up by Ascent and Yomp. By Yomp and Trugger, I should say. And TSU is fighting very aggressively, though. They're going to recap the point. They have pretty good damage. Side is very, very aggressive. Actually, the flank of Ascent is very weak. The Yomp will go down. Bela's going to bomb very aggressively now. He's going to go for Showstopper. Showstopper's very hurt, but he's going to get out. It's going to be a point for TSU here.
I liked what Showstopper did there on that middle, using that bomb, the high bomb, to make it hard to get hit, and he actually is able to get a couple frags that way. So TSU able to come up with a capture. And wow, look at Grape here from the Rockets, able to take down Trugger. So he's actually just spamming that left side, holding down the flank. And Ascent are going to be here on this cliff to try and position themselves for a push. But they're down a scout. Now Trugger's alive. There's this double bomb in from Randos, forcing Ninja Nick very easily. So not the best victory from TSU.
Yeah, I would have liked to see TSU hold on that cliffside SLIN, where it's a lot harder to force the medic if you play it right. Because, I mean, Block was doing very good. Like, he had done, actually, the reason Trugger died because he had double-donked Trugger, and then he had double-donked someone right after that as well, really denying the push early. But they just held too far forward, in my opinion. I would have liked them to hold a bit more passive. And now Ascent's going to have a full Uber ad. They're pushing off this cliff. 4-4's going to Uber, and TSU is doing a really good job of kiting. They should not get caught out here. Oh, but really good bombs from Rando. They're going to lose blocks as well, so Showstopper's dead. Grape is still in, though. I don't like how aggressive Grape is still in after these Ubers. Like, he's just dying far too much for my liking. And,
yeah, and he's dying on another respawn wave as well here, so he's going to be on a slightly longer respawn timer than the rest of his teammates, who are already trying to go for this push left side by the stairs. Looks like Grape's up now, but Senta are in that forward hold that we've seen that's just so hard to push against. They're actually getting caught out by already losing two players. Yomson from that side making life difficult for them. Picks up another frag onto Sizer, forces the Uber as well from Ninja Nick, and Yomson goes for the ginormous play. And look at Ninja Nick. He has no one to flash. Looks like Block's going for a suicide to try and get 4-4, but that's not going to come up with anything at all. TSU having a really bad Uber there. A great forward hold from Ascent.
Yeah, the Ascent scouts just once again mulching TSU. Yom's picking up 2 and 4, and they're going to try. They have to get out here. Like, this is good. There's no other option, and they're getting just cleaned up by Ascent here. Showstopper's on to 4. The rest of TSU is dead. It's pretty much it's Block, and they're not going to attack, and it's over. That's the half right there, SLIN.
Yeah. We have yet to see TSU take a round against Ascent. It's been 5-0 in the first map on Process, and now it's been 3-0 on Viaduct. And we've seen closer rounds on Viaduct, but you always see, some sort of closer round. It'd be really, really sad if they couldn't take the capture at all. But Ascent, with these forward holds, you just see how good they are. And 4-4 isn't dying. Ninja Nick's dying a lot. It's bad. It's been a struggle, yeah.
Yeah, it's a struggle for sure. And I mean, it's not just Ninja Nick dying. It's the Ascent scouts are once again, and just the whole of Ascent are being able to able to clean up the TSU soldiers, and their soldiers in return are doing so much work for them, especially in these Ubers, and they're getting caught out on Cliff a lot in these post-Uber fights, and losing Nick and losing a bunch of players, stopping them from contesting. So it's just these transition fights that are really, really hurting TSU.
A lot of people will look at this Grand Finals and go, wow, this Grand Finals is really bad, but you got to give a hand to Ascent for playing so cleanly and playing so well in this situation, because they're just proving right now that they deserve that spot as the #1 team in North America, showing you that they are just super dominant, well-rounded team that knows how to play together and can show that like they're clearly the best.
Yeah, they're performing very, very well right now, and actually. It's just I think that Ascent, if you look at the deaths, really, I mean, like you were saying earlier, Nick has close to double the deaths of 4-4. But also, I mean, both demos are doing a lot. Block is doing 405, and Benassi doing 401. So a lot of damage being put out from them. But if you're, it's just, very lots of deaths from the TSU side. They're just dying, and they're not getting much done with their deaths. Like, I think Grape and Showstopper should really die a lot less.
Yeah, and stats-wise, you're not seeing any Uber drops from Ninja Nick, but I think overall, like, TSU are not playing that well on these forces, because at the lower levels, you'll see teams like throw like a sacrifice to get the force and keep their medic alive, but TSU have to like use the heals to create that space for the force in the first place, but they still lose Ninja Nick, so it just hands the Uber advantage over to 4-4, and more time ticks down off the clock here as we go into the second half. Ascent are up a 3-0 lead, 1 round away, championship point, and Look at them now as Rando's on direct hit taking down Sizer. I don't even know how seriously Ascent are taking this anymore. They have such a large lead.
Does not seem to be taking it very seriously, and it looks like Yomps and Shrugger along with Melo will be just cleaning up the rest of TSU. But
nice spot from Showstopper.
Yeah. But
and
he trades with Whoa!
Okay, a little bit of flair. All right, I'll get behind that. Yeah,
That's
coming out of the
insane.
tunnel there, the scouts from Ascent were just like, oh yeah, this is Frag City. They just run forward and try and clean up all the frags, but they forgot about Showstopper coming out of the tunnel behind them and picking up a couple frags. I like that. He's still got some fight in him.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to pick, Badonski will pick up great, but Shrugger will also go down. So I think TSU should actually has a really good shot of picking up this point now. Mela's hurt on flank. They might get Mela as well. Actually, he's going to get out. 4-4 and Yomp trying to help him. Rando's cut out too. Rando is very, very, very hurt. Badonski's cut off and hurt. This is very good for TSU. They have very, very good position and very good heals right now. And,
and how bad would it be for Ascent to like have such a dominant like grand finals, but then they drop like the final round that they needed right before they get it? I mean, if TSU were get around here, that'd be a moral victory.
Well, that's true. But I think once we see TSU go around, I think Rando's going to probably switch off of the direct hit. Rando likes to go direct hit to really show his dominance and the disrespect. And actually, the Ascent scouts are very, very aggressive on block right now. They forced them off, and TSU is going to Uber here. Not a great Uber. And actually, Showstopper gets air shot by the direct hit and denied, completely denied by Rando. But he's on them. He's on force where he gets the force. He's going to get cleaned up. Alex will get cleaned up. Rando's flying through the air, Ubered while using his direct hit, and TSU pretty much out.
That's not what you want if you're TSU. You cannot be giving up 2 frags when the enemy team Ubers. That's exactly what they want out of that, and the center playing that beautifully. It looks like Rando's in some trouble, but the rest of the team jumps in to help him out there. Badonski, even Badonski's bombing it, but he gets punished from that. Grape's able to finish off that frag, and TSU are trying to play the heals. They're trying to keep Ninja Nick alive, but no, Yomps with the scattergun able to finish him off there. Ascent sell out to kill Ninja Nick. They get the frag, but TSU have the number advantage, and they actually win that team fight.
That's just poo-poo. It's so bad. It's sloppy, SLIN. Yomps
yeah, it's sloppy.
It's sloppy. Yeah, it was. It was like Yomps was 28. Was like 20
It's a sloppy pounding. It's a sloppy pounding that we're watching here.
We gotta keep it. We gotta keep it
but Ascent have shown that they're winning, that they're the best team. But TSU, they can win off of this sloppiness. They're actually getting some capture time. They actually take a lead on the timer here, and making.
They're low
giving
health,
them a run
though.
for their money.
Ascent isn't great health here. TSU has a little bit better health. Mela is very, very weak. Block being really good damage on them this flank. And all I have to do is fight these players on point. They're letting Yomps get so far forward with no pressure. Rando is very far forward too. They just, like, the Ascent players are just walking onto point. They're not being stopped. It's very, very passive and just bad for TSU. They will pick up
nice
Rando.
punish though. Yeah, block with the stickies there. Shrugger in from behind. Can they spot him? They do get him down. And TSU actually win this fight.
Yeah.
So a couple too many players from Ascent going for these greedy frags actually end up dying, and makes it difficult for 4-4 Mela and Badonski to do anything with that. They're like, guys, you just died, you went greedy, and now it's just a 3-on-5. They cannot fight this. Ascent though, they get these respawners, they want to come back in.
Yeah, Grape hit a really good air shot there, and Ascent's going to be pushing it now very, very aggressively. Rando, once again, sniping away direct. They're going to get an early force. They're going to lots of damage on Showstopper, but 4-4 is going to also pop. A little bit better Uber, and it's going to be Rando trying to bomb behind, but he doesn't have direct hit. He doesn't have the best Uber. And actually, Ninja Nick's going to get blasted up and mulched. And now it looks like TSU is going to be trying to collapse on point, going for 4-4. Rando's very hurt. Rando will go down. Alex on 4-4. Ooh, oh my gosh, 4-4, 5 HP. 5 HP, SLIN. That's rough.
Should not have worked, actually. You saw Shrugger in that Uber jumping in and taking the flashes while the Ubers were still going on an even Uber, just taking the flashes. But yeah, Ascent are just so good, and Yomps as well, picking up a ton of frags. So looks like Ascent are back in control of the point, but they're down 30 seconds. They need to stall a little bit longer, but TSU, they don't want to give up without a fight. They're actually coming back in here. Sizer creating some space for his team. Alec actually off the left side, pushing them off of that choke, and Block able to jump up there and push them up as well. Showstopper picking up a frag onto Rando, jumping cliff, jumping even deeper still onto Badonski to finish off that frag there. Now Sizer in to try and help out, trying to get Ninja Nick, not Ninja Nick, 4-4, they do get the kill. That's going to be a 4-on-3, and TSU meanwhile keeping Ninja Nick nice and safe on the point. I like it.
Yeah, that was a really good bomb and coordination from Sizer and Showstopper. But once again, I would say a little bit overzealous. But I mean, they do get the pick in the end. I honestly don't think it should have worked. They should have been able to protect since Showstopper wasn't the best health and Sizer should have been able to have been called. But it worked out. really
I mean, if
good
you're in
team.
TSU's shoes, you got Uber, you got time on the clock, and actually Ascent have to go for a force, and they throw some players in. Let's see if they can hold this off for TSU. They're actually getting those frags. Yeah, that's looking really good for them here. Shrugger actually pretty low as well. Alex is trying to finish that one off there, wins that out with the pistol, and now Sizer trying to close in on the Badonsky, the only remaining member from Ascent. Sizer finds him, kills him, and that's going to be the timer down, and actually TSU get a round on the board finally against Ascent. So it won't have been a grand finals without a round for both teams.
That's true. And I mean, maybe we'll see Rando go back to a stock rocket launcher now. We don't know. Like, he's very, very good at direct hit, actually, SLIN. Like, I've played against him a few times because he's just a very disrespectful boy. But he's really good with it. But I think I would prefer to see him on stock rocket launcher, hopefully. And we're going to roll out to another mid now, SLIN.
Well, TSU, they got one round. They can they turn that into more rounds? Let's find out. Showstopper top left on the rock, spots out Mela, spans him off that, but Mela, wow, trading really well against Grape, actually winning that 1v1 there. Meanwhile, the rest of Ascent have their scouts on the point. They're playing the heals, they're getting the frags. TSU in a lot of trouble as Shrugger and Badonsky focusing that right side choke, get 2 kills. The combo there, the Shrugger-Badonsky combo is super good. Ascent able to push back TSU back to spawn.
Yep.
And looking good for them now.
Another really solid, dominant mid-fire Ascent. Like, Block got some really, really good damage early with the loose cannon, but the Ascent scouts once again just bulldozing over the point. And actually, TSU is trying to come out main. They get denied by Rando, but they're gonna
good damage.
Grape will pick 4-4. Wow, good pick.
Really good. It's looking good damage from TSU. They're actually getting the frags there. Mela getting separated from his team. Now Yomps into force. Ninja Nick. Ninja Nick drops the Uber. Unfortunate there for him. We were talking about how greedy he is with those holds. If he were able to hold on to that, that would have been absolutely fantastic. But Yomps hit the shots that he needed to clutch it for his team there. Nick just getting a little bit greedy. Didn't want to pop that Uber. They did kill 404 though for TSU, and they want to come back into the point with these respawners while Rando and Yomps are down.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get the point, or at least they should get the point. They shouldn't let Badonsky bully them out here. He's being so aggressive. Look how aggressive Badonsky is. He should be punished. And actually, Ascent's going to be falling up from that from the cliff side and from Plank. And they're actually going to pick up Grape, who bombed aggressively denied, but he gets picked up by Shrugger. But they're going to pick up Rando. Shrugger's still behind the rock. They're still fighting here. He's so aggressive. And actually, Badonsky is coming in with heals now. And this is a really scrappy fight.
Also, Mela is in from behind, picking up a frag there as Shrugger jumps in and gets Ninja Nick down. Big picks. Ascent using these distraction plays from Mela to actually turn a couple players from TSU around. They had no idea what to do with that. And Ascent are able to keep 4-4 nicely tucked away. Here comes the bomb from Grape. Isn't effective. Ascent are looking strong now, looking back in full form. They look like they're taking the round seriously.
That was inexcusable, honestly, SLIN, for Ninja Nick to die there to Shrugger. Just really inexcusable. And actually, they're going to get a really good pop, though, on 4-4 here. Rando's chasing Showstopper behind. Block is out. Block go down. Showstopper go down. Ninja Nick dies again, though. He dies.
Yeah, how does it spawn? Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. This is, it's just
rough.
It's inexcusable. It's really just poor. It's poor play now. This can be chalked up to Ascent playing well, but at this point, it's honestly just bad. I think just bad play.
I mean, Showstopper had a fantastic force onto 404 out there in yard, and then they just jump into spawn with it and kill Ninja Nick. You're right, that is unexcusable, and it's tough to watch that for TSU, but they still got some fight. And oh my goodness, Rando, look at him just getting into the mix there and killing the combo for TSU. And now Ascent are just cleaning this up here. It's looking ugly. TSU have absolutely nothing left to do with, and yeah, they've been completely wiped here. Ascent are going for these super aggressive forward holds, and TSU are nowhere near the point.
And they're not good health either, but they're just so confident that they can clean up the TSU. And TSU really needs to be, like, instead of just ramming themselves into them, just trying to, like, take the smart way and wrap them. And actually going to get a good force here on 4-4. If they can kite this Uber, Ninja Nick will be at a significant Uber advantage, and TSU can definitely still fight this.
Yeah, they're kiting pretty well. They only lost Sizer on that Uber, and now TSU, the rest of them want to come back. And Shrugger in from behind, though. Have they spotted him? No, they don't know that he's there. He actually picks up the frag on the Ninja Nick, and now he's on the block, diving in there and finishing off that frag. Showstopper does take him down, but the damage has been done. Ascent have taken down the enemy combo. They're playing with 4-4 on the point, and the time is ticking down. 20 seconds left in this round, and potentially 20 seconds left in this grand finals here for TSU. They're not looking too good here. They have no players alive really to get to the point. 8 seconds left on the clock. Ascent are coming back in with the respawners. It's going to be one last team fight for Team SoloUber, but Ascent have such a large lead. Rando jumps into the enemy combo, puts a rocket onto Ninja Nick and Alec before going down himself, but they trade 1 for 1.
It's
actually
4-4's barrier. They're gonna get 4-4, but they sold out the rest of their team to get the 4-4 frag, and not a smart play. Not TSU. It's just not. Well, it's gonna be GG though, right there. So that's gonna be GG. So
that's gonna be it. Yeah.
Dominant from Ascent is the only words I could really use to describe that. It's just absolutely dominant from Ascent.
Yeah, good sportsmanship from TSU. I like seeing that in the chat. And congratulations to Ascent, who win ESEA Season 20 and come up with their very first ESEA win. So this is a season of firsts for them. They won an event, they won a tournament, they won the Razor Fall Classic, and they also won ESEA. So finally, it just goes to show that persistence pays off there. They finally get themselves an ESEA victory, and they deserve it there. That was a very decisive 2-0 in the grand finals, and ending it very quickly in that one best of 3.
Definitely a very, very, I mean, just once again, dominant from Ascent. Like TSU, especially, we could see that they were pretty weak on process, the 5-0. But I think this map just showed that they weren't as coordinated as Ascent, and the Ascent scouts were absolutely dominant, and just they were able to be healthy, be in the right place, just plus, essentially, as the term goes, plus forward and get what they wanted, just clean up everyone around them.
I saw great moments out of every player on Ascent, and they all played magnificently throughout these matches, and the process was super, super quick. I think Viaduct was a little bit dragged out. You could say that maybe it's because Ascent stopped trying as hard in a couple of the rounds, but overall, Ascent just showed it was super one-sided. And TSU, they had a really good season. I think they should be very proud of themselves, finishing second place for a lot of the up-and-coming players on TSU, but also for some of the veterans there, finally getting into the grand finals. I think it deserves a pat on the back as well.
Yeah, great game. And actually, I just want to go ahead and talk about the stats, because if we look at the accolades page, Yomps and Shrugger are just they have all the awards, and they both have Shrugger having 41 frags, top fragging in the server, with Yomps having 35, right behind him with second fragging, and 350 DPM for Yomps and 367 for Shrugger. Just insane play, especially considering that Alec and Sizer are both sitting at about 21, 22 frags each, with over 300 DPM, a little over between them, but still just the frag difference is insane.
Yeah. And a lot of people going into this match were saying that Shrugger is the best scout in North America, but Yomps, up and coming player, man, he's super good as well. He's so good. He's so good. And I'm really excited to see what Ascent will be doing in upcoming seasons of ESEA, because now that Froyotech is not alive anymore, Ascent will be the ones to carry the torch moving forward, and they deserve this victory. Absolutely. Congratulations to them for winning ESEA Season 20.
Yeah, I'm happy for them for winning. I mean, they're a very dedicated team. They've been around for a while, sort of second pony to Froyo for a long time, but they're just no slouches themselves, as seen by these grand finals. They're very, very good. They've been to multiple, well, I don't know about multiple, but they've been to the latest international LAN as well, and they didn't have the greatest performance, but they're very, very good.
Yeah. And for Team SoloUber, there's got to be a team that's got to finish second every single time. And we saw that in Ascent in past seasons, but now it can be Team SoloUber. They showed that they're super good as well. And I think their victory over Froyotech was like one of the highlights of the season. So
yeah, definitely. I think their victory over Froyotech was really, it showed what how TSU could play. It showed TSU with like their full roster capacity. Not to say that, once again, not saying that Block is bad by any means, but it's just like with Zalux, it definitely made them a stronger team. Block, I mean, Block was possibly the only person on TSU that was having a big impact during that game, though. I mean, he was consistent. I mean, he ended up out damaging, well, not out damage, but he, sitting with the same damage as Podolsky the entire time, despite his team being on the opposite end of like all the team fights. He was at a 406.9 DPM. So
yeah,
very solid performance from him.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm looking forward to both these teams in future seasons of ESEA. Of course, this isn't the last season of ESEA as we know it, so hopefully we'll be seeing both these teams next season. And I'm really looking forward to see if TSU can like practice hard and rally themselves and beat Ascent in future seasons. But Ascent looks so good; it's gonna be tough.
I agree. Ascent's very, very good. I mean, and Yomps is the player to watch, in my personal opinion, an upcoming player to watch. I mean, he's shown through essentially a meteoric rise from his time on Cafe Monster, the IM champions from the season before this season, or actually the season 2 season before that. and replacing Decimate, but he's been more than an adequate replacement for Decimate when Decimate couldn't play. He's been absolutely insane. Definitely a key member of the Ascent, and also a reason why they've been so dominant. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what Ascent does and what TSU does. Maybe they'll keep Block, since Zalox is likely. I don't think Zalox will be playing, since he has other commitments due to Police Academy and things like that.
That's true. I think one thing is clear though, and we were talking earlier about how Froyo Tech has like been such a dominant team in this whole last 12 months, and also how like Banny teams have been around for a long time. I think Ascent's been around for a long time. You look at them; they've been actually together for many seasons, and it took a lot of work for them to get to where they are now, and that's why I really feel like they deserve this victory. And it just goes to show that like if teams stay together over longer periods of time, that will secure them a victory.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, longevity is the name of the game, and I think that's also been a particular weak point in terms of like being able to challenge dominant teams for in the TF2 invite level, because a lot of teams just they splinter and reform a lot, and the only two teams that have really been consistent throughout the seasons were there was the mix-up in the Banny team, and then it formed where there was the current Ascent, which used to be Elevate and things like that. So, you know, that team longevity goes a long way towards essentially creating dynasties. And it looks like we actually have Mela.
It actually, yeah, we will be doing an interview of the ESEA Invite Season 20 champions. And I'm not quite sure how many you guys are coming here. We do have Mela, the roamer for Ascent, and Rando, the pocket for Ascent. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
Is anyone else coming, or are we just hanging out? Just the
no, just.
I'm trying to get Yomps.
No, no.
Yomps.
Okay, actually, yeah, fine.
Yomps.
Bring him in here.
Everyone wants Yomps.
Bring in the boys.
Everyone want Yomps. Everyone. He is the fan favorite, even more than the direct hit Rando Sully. Even more. You know, which will be leading to my first question, Rando. Are you going to be championing the direct hit in this upcoming season, seeing as you love it so much?
I don't know. I've used it a few times in matches. It's fun, but it's not super great unless you're hitting everything.
Well, you are a soldier that generally hits everything when it comes to direct, so I think you're pretty effective with it. But I think that I agree with you that it serves much more as a psychological warfare factor than it does a actual effectiveness. So because I see you wanted to sort of trash upon PSU there, Rando.
I wouldn't say
I'm not the
that.
one who said it. See how I'm not the one who said it, Rando? I didn't say it. You're calling me out in chat. I didn't say it.
I'm just saying what the chat was thinking. You know, it's up to you to answer the questions how you wish.
We also have.
I'm not going to say anything about
that. We also have Yomps in here as well, who's a scout for Ascent. Welcome, Yomps.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
So I just want to start off by saying congratulations to you three for winning the season. How do you feel?
Pretty good, because it's just been a long time coming of actually getting first place in something. And then and then we finally won that Razor tournament, and then finally won ESEA. So pretty cool. I'm just proud of how much we've improved as a team.
Yeah, I think everyone's impressed with the Ascent roster so far, especially this season.
Yeah, I'm actually looking back at your roster history to see how long you guys have been together. And it looks like your first season of Invite was season 15. So it's been 5, we call it 6 seasons. This is your 6th season of ESEA. You guys finally won it. I mean, like I said, it's been a long time coming. It's about time, right?
Yeah, I do think it's kind of odd that out of all the seasons, this is the one that we win and perform the best in, when I think on paper, because we've never actually carried the exact same six-man roster into the following season out of any of the 5 we played. And like, I think you would have to assume at the beginning of the season that this would be our worst one on paper, just because neither Yomps or 404 had played in a top team before, but then somehow we ended up winning. And this might be our best roster we've had so far, so
pretty good roster. Well, like your first season of ESEA was season 15. You guys went 12-4, and every season since you've had a winning record: 12-4, 16-0, even some seasons, 11-5, 15-1. So you guys have had like super good results every season, but you just couldn't come with the victory. And now you finally did. So it must feel super good.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
I mean, is it really surprised that you won, Mela? You have Yomps. Yomps the god. He's so
Yeah,
good.
I don't know how he got so good. I swear to God, he wasn't this good at the beginning of the season. Like, it was pretty good, but like, or we wouldn't have picked him up. But like, I don't know, he got a lot better. Because I think at the beginning of the season, he just went from being like a good DM, just another good invite DM scout that hits everything, to like a crazy clutch player. So
It's still what I am, just improved.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely agree. I've seen a lot of improvement from Yomps, and I think that I've also. Would you agree that you've seen a lot of improvement from the TSU rosters from their previous iterations, like starting at like Ding Dong Daddy? This is a term towards like Ascent. Do you think they could have played a lot better tonight? Because I feel like after their win against like Froyotech, I think we didn't necessarily see the best out of TSU that we could have seen.
yeah, it's hard to say, just because it's always odd, I guess, when a team kind of like Block hadn't been playing with them for that long, so it's always odd when a team is forced to play with a player they're not necessarily completely used to. Like, I think they played a fair amount with Block, that's like that they could have still done a bit better with him. I don't know what happened, but I think that they have a lot of potential still. Like, I think a lot of their players could still improve, and I think they can probably do really well again next season. And I thought they did really well this season. I think this was the first season in a while where they managed to beat like us or Froyo. So still overall like an impressive season from them, I think.
I want to bring it back to you guys because like, you were talking about how Yomps at the start of the season you didn't think he was that good, and then he suddenly got better. Yomps, what do you feel was like the thing that you learned this season, or the technique you learned, or whatever skill that you feel like really brought you to the next level?
I was just like thinking about if I actually like played really well, we could just beat every team. It's simple as that for me.
Playing well does result in victories, yes.
But having a chance to play with some of the best TF2 players, it really makes you want to try hard.
That's awesome. That's cool. And I'm happy to see that you have your teammates here with you to share this victory with. So really excited for you guys. So tell us, what is up for you guys for this upcoming season? Are you guys going to be playing next season together? Are you guys going to be in the same roster? What's the plan?
Team's dead.
Team's dead.
No!
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Confirmed. Team
We're all
dead.
going to Overwatch.
Oh wow, Overwatch killing the game. Right.
Capo Ross. No, we're not. We're still playing.
Will be a similar roster. Or I know that when it first started out, Yomps was a pickup as Decimate couldn't play, but is it something that you're at liberty to discuss right now, or
Nope.
Nope, not at liberty to discuss. Well, heard it here, classified information. So I'm looking forward to it.
So it may, because you guys have said that Ascent has never had the same roster every season, but this may be the case or may not. We'll find out next season then. All right. Well, let's just do some shout outs then. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and we'll start with you, Mila, and just whatever you want to say. Floor is yours.
Well, I just want to shout out TFTV and you guys for putting on the good cast as always. Mathsad for being the cameraman for every single game this season, except for maybe a couple. If Marbler did a couple, I can't remember. But Mathsad canned like 95% of the games this season at least. So that's a pretty big deal. He kind of put the whole TFTV stream completely on his back. And then also, thanks for doing a bunch of the cast this season as well, SLIN, and thanks for coming in the playoffs and being a great caster out of nowhere, Avast, and saving me that one day when I needed to find a caster.
Frantically messaging me,
just a lot of cool stuff happening for TF2 in the near future. A lot of cool stuff happening with TFTV. As you know, we're doing a lot more coverage as far as like the invite scene goes, with articles and different content, stuff like that. So just keep your eyes open for everything going on there. I think next season's going to be really good. Matchmaking should be coming out during next season. Whole lot of stuff happening. So just keep your eyes open for that. And of course, just shout out to my team and Nicholas the Fragile Leon for being our coach manager forever. And also shout out to Servo because he is just begging me for a shout out on Steam. But that's all.
Shameless. All right, you, Rando?
Just shout out to my boys. You know who you are. That's about it.
Short and sweet. I like it. And Yomps?
Shout out to my boys. You know who you are.
Wow, originality coming from there. I like it. I like the solidarity in the boys right there. I like the solidarity. SLIN, who do you wanna shout out?
Get a whale.
Get a whale. I can get behind that shout out. That's a good shout out right there. Get a whale is just an excellent shout out overall.
Do you have a shout out, Avast?
I'm gonna shout out Get a whale as well, and I'm also gonna shout out AIM.
Originality. We're talking about originality.
But I'm also gonna shout out AIM, who luckily enough had made the commitment to setting himself on fire if TSU had won the grand finals. And apparently this will not be the case. So he will not be doing a protest of self-immolation, which is good. I don't want people setting themselves on fire. And also shout out to the production crew. Dash, as we mentioned before, has just been great. He's made the process so much better. Thank you to SLIN for being my co-caster. And thank you for Mela for giving me the opportunity to cast. It's been really fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hope you stick around and do some more next season.
And
Hopefully.
I also want to give an opportunity to Mathsad, who, like you said, cameraed all season long, to do a shout out. I don't know if I put you on the spot, Mathsad, if you want to do a shout out. Mathsad says you guys can't hear him, but shout out to the viewers. He loves you guys. So that's going to wrap it up here for ESEA Invite Season 20. Thank you guys so much for coming out and watching and supporting all season long, supporting Team Fortress TV, supporting competitive Team Fortress 2. We really appreciate it. We know you guys love the game as much as we do, and we can't wait to see you guys next season and on the website. So don't forget to check us out, www.teamfortress.tv, on Twitter at teamfortresstv. And yeah, my name is Mr. SLIN. I've asked my co-caster. Thank you so much for joining us. And Mathsad on camera. Congratulations to Ascent, your Season 20 champions. And have a great night, guys.